Hi everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. Sorry that I haven't been on much just lately. I have managed to do the Marguerite Miller 52-week collage challenge each week. Since I got back from Ireland, I haven't been 100% well, so I kind of eased back a bit. I had to, really. I managed to do, as I say, the weekly Marguerite Miller assignments, because I wanted to keep that going, because it is a 52-week collage challenge for 2022. But then we took the boys away for our grandsons away for a weekend of camping, 4 days, and I felt a lot better then. And when I came back, unfortunately, my sort of medical issue flared up again. So without going into detail, I just wanted to say that I am sorry. I feel like maybe I'm letting down some of my subscribers because I'm not on here as much. As I've said before, it's difficult to work 4 days a week full-time, and then full-time days, and then try and keep daily YouTube videos going. I find that really quite difficult. And so, you know, until I retire, which is not going to be that long now, I'm going to just try and stick to doing 2 or 3 a week, including the Marguerite Miller 52-week collage challenge. Now, before I went away, I showed you my beauty in black and white journal idea that I'm going to do, and these are all the things I showed you, and it's going to be a soft cover. So I'm using Kerr's kit, black and white kit, which I did show you on the previous video. So far I've only managed to do 1 video. I just move that down a bit, I don't know, it looks a bit crooked to me. Anyway, so we'll put these to one side, and what I want to show you today is, let me just put these down on my trolley, is I have bought some, I'm going to make a soft cover. So I was watching a video on YouTube by a lovely lady. I just have not written down her name, so let me just see, hold on. Her name is Stitch with Rachel, and she made her soft cover using this foam. It's A3 size, which is a UK terminology, I believe. So I'll measure it for you in inches and centimetres. So it is, in inches, it is 16.5 inches tall, or let's have a look. So in centimetres, that would be 42 centimetres wide or tall, whichever way up you've got it. And then the other height is in centimetres, it is 29.5 tall, and in inches, sorry, I'm a bit rusty now, aren't I? It's just under 11 3/4 inches tall. So if you're having it this way round, those are your dimensions, right? And you can buy this in any craft shop. I bought it on Amazon. I can link the link in the description below. I'll also link Stitch with Rachel's video, so you can see how she did hers. So what I decided to do is, obviously it's not going to be this size of a thing, journal, but I want it to have a closure flap, so it's going to be like that, okay? And I decided that mine is going to be, I've measured this out, so I've decided I'm going to make it 8 inches high, my journal, and it's going to be 11 inches wide with a 2-inch spine, because I want to put at least 3 signatures in if I can. And so what I've done is I measured, obviously, and I've marked it 8 inches from the top to there, and then I've gone 5.5 inches to there, and then 2.5 inches. I don't know if you can see those marks, 2.5 inches for the spine, and another pencil mark for another 5.5 inches, and then that will be my closure flap. Okay, so I'll put you on hold while I just cut this. So I'm back, so I've cut it. This is going to be my journal, and as you can see, I've got my spine marked out there, and then that's the edge of the journal, and this will be the flap that goes over the front, kind of like that. So, oh, I was using some dried flowers in a collage recently for Marguerite Miller's challenge, and I think the bits are on my desk and I never realised. So right, so that's what it's going to kind of look like, and obviously it's going to have this spine. Now, she didn't actually specifically put a spine in hers, Rachel, Stitch with Rachel, but that is kind of how I want it, like that. So yeah, so I'm going to try and, so I'm going to get rid of this piece, but obviously keep it, because you know you can make some nice little journals with that, soft cover ones. It'd be a nice challenge. So I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up with my mat at the first point where I wanted that kind of signature spine, the first edge of the spine. Oh, this foam, it's like static, and it seems to be attracting every bit of dust and debris. Okay, so yeah, that's 5.5. So I wanted the second one, and we'll line it up again so we've got it straight with the lines on this mat. And all I'm doing is I'm just creasing it. It's quite malleable, this foam. I did wonder how it was going to work when I first saw the foam, and I'm using a white piece of foam because I bought a pack of multicolours, and believe it or not, there wasn't a black piece in it. There's a piece that is sort of actually a cow print, black and white, but it's not really, I know it's going to be covered with material, but for my own kind of what I wanted, really, my own idea, I decided that I'm using the white because it is a black and white journal. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is because Rachel, Stitch with Rachel did have white in hers, and she had sort of a lovely, beautiful bohemian purple pattern material, and when she sewed round she could see bits of this white foam. But if mine's black and white, it shouldn't really matter too much. So now I've got kind of my rough lines, because I wanted to kind of know where my spine is, really. I think that will help me, especially when I'm sewing the material on. So I just want to make sure that it's all kind of lined up best as possible with this, because obviously it's soft. So that's going to be my sort of 3 signature spine. So it's going to be really nice. I think it's a brilliant idea. I just hope I can put it into action on my sewing machine, because as you all know, or you may not know, I'm not that brilliant. I'm not the best sewer in the world. I'm a real novice with a sewing machine. So that is it. Right, so I'm not going to play about with that anymore because I think you can keep on. Now, I found a lovely Etsy shop called Scottish Country Cottage, and it's Laura Westfield Scotland Limited, and I'm sure her Etsy shop It could well be her Etsy shop. I put the link below anyway, but I think she may be called Laura Westville, all one word. Anyway, that's where I got this from. Came beautifully packaged in this lovely tissue paper, and this, which when I opened it absolutely smelled divine, really smelled beautiful. I mean, oh, it's lovely. I'd love to know what that smell is. If that's her perfume, it's absolutely beautiful. I must ask her, because you know, this is watermarked as well. So this is watermarked with Laura Westville. Right, so this is what I'm going to cover my journal with. Okay, this lovely paper here, which fabric, not paper. So as you can see, there's the selvage edge there. So it's not really directional, but obviously that's the way it came off the roll. So let's have a look. So I'm going to turn it round on its side for now, because it's going to be easier. So what I want to do is I want to cover, I'm going to, I think, cover the whole inside with it as well as outside. So it's going to be something like that. So imagine I've cut it down to size, and it's going to kind of, let's tuck that in so that we get an idea. And so it's going to be something like that. And obviously you can then, before you sew it onto your foam, if you want to add anything, any fabric embellishments on here or here, you know, or even here that you don't want to glue, that you want to sew, then you know, you could do that before you actually sew the piece round. So I'm going to cut this down to size, because obviously it's too much. But if I have this as the inside, and I think I will, I may want to put some inside pockets in. So I think I want to kind of cut this to size and then work out where I want pockets, and if I want fabric pockets or lace pockets, then I'm going to stitch them before I stitch this to the foam, if that makes sense. Okay, so right, I'm going to put you on hold and I'm just going to cut it. Everyone, I'm back. Right, goodness me. Okay, so I cut the material, haven't sewn anything, I've cut the material and I've covered my foam and I've pinned it all the way around. I've also kind of put a pin either side of what I think will be a rough idea of the spine, so it will sort of shut, it's going to shut like this kind of thing. So what I've done is I've had a piece of lace, just a tiny scrap, two pieces stuck together, these lovely flowers, and I've separated them, and I'm going to have one there and one there like that, so when it's shut. And then I've pinned my closure, so it's always a good idea to put your closure on when you're doing your sewing. So I've kind of pinned my closure on, and I'm using this lovely, I don't actually know what type of material it was. I did buy it on Amazon, and it's from China. It's a sort of a of thin kind of voile kind of ribbon, and it came like that. It comes on a roll like this. It's like a thin cotton sort of lovely, I don't know, but I could link it below. I'll try and remember to link all these things below. The lace I can't, this I can't link. This was given to me in some Happy Mail. So that's kind of roughly how it's going to close. So with your closure, my advice would be have a bit longer than you possibly will want, because don't forget 3 signatures are going in this, so I have cut this longer. So for now it's just going to go like that. And then I thought on the spine, and I'll probably glue that, oh, and that's the wrong way around, it's going to be this lovely piece of kind of flower lace there, which will look like that on the back. So that's my soft cover. Now inside, I was thinking about whether, while I had the sewing machine out, do I put some pockets in. I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is sew it, and then sew the cover to this foam, and then I'm going to sew these bits on, maybe by hand, I'm not sure. I'll think about that. Yeah, I'll probably sew these by hand, because, or glue them on, because they are very intricate. So I don't want to run the sewing machine over those and ruin the look of them. I will sew down that there. Now I've got a choice of black or white cotton for my sewing. Obviously the white cotton is going to show up any mistakes. The other thing you can do is you can like obviously I've pinned these on and I can take those off, but what you can do when you sew, so I'm going to sew all the way around here, down along the bottom and up the side, and leave a little kind of edge. I can feel where the foam is. Then I'm going to probably do a little line down here and here for the spine, so I've got a good idea where to sew my signatures in, because that, I didn't feel that was apparent on the video I saw. And then if you want to, if you're very good at sewing, you can kind of do almost a quilted effect, you know, or a swirly effect all around here. It's entirely up to you. So you could, you know, sew some lines down all the way down and then go across that way. That would be quite nice, and it would secure everything. So that's it. So I'm going to go away, get my sewing machine out, because I don't have the luxury of having the space to keep it out at the moment. So I'm going to go away, do the sewing. Not sure what colour I'm going to choose at the moment. Might depend on what's already in the sewing machine. I'll see. So I think, yeah, I'm not brave enough, I don't think, to do white, unfortunately. Till I get more used to sewing, I need to have the time to practice my sewing more. Again, it's all down to time, isn't it? Constraints. I'm sure you're all the same, you know, juggling work life, family life, you know, home life with your house and everything, your garden, and it's all a lot, isn't it? Anyway, that's it, and when I've finished, I'll pop back on, show you what I've done. Okay, see you soon. Hi everyone, well that was a real marathon for me. So I've been playing about with spine laces, but so I'll take these off because they're not actually fixed. I was just looking to see how it looked. So I have sewn all around here. So I've sewn in white. I did bite the bullet and I thought, oh, I'm going to do it, you know. So I've sewn along the top, down each side, along the bottom, and a couple of lines to delineate the spine, really. And that's what it looks like. And then I also sewed the closure onto the spine at the back, like that. So that is basically what it looks like now. Okay, so I'm going to use some fabric glue to glue on these lovely flowers. Just want to the stamens are a bit sort of higgledy-piggledy, but I guess that's probably how they're supposed to be. Anyway, I do fuss about with things, so I'm going to put it on like that, and I'm going to sort of put it there, and then I'll match the other one up. So I have got some fabric glue here which I bought from the Works, which is a little shop in the UK that sells stationery, books, toys, cards, and has a craft corner and art supplies. And this is was only £2. It's called fabric glue, but I tested it on a piece of this black and white material, and it has actually, which has now disappeared, it has actually glued it very nicely, and it's not coming through. So rather than use the Beacon 3-in-1, I am going to use this, and I'm going to pop that there like so. So I don't want to use too much actually, and I think I'll just concentrate on the actual flower piece. Maybe a little bit to catch those ends down there. Tiny little dots, that's all. Okay, and then carefully kind of press it down, really. Got a dry wipe here, so I'll press out any excess. Now this does dry up clear, so the flower will be freestanding on the top there, which is nice. Okay, so that's that one. So I want one on the other flap, so I want this one to mirror. Once again, I'm just teasing out these stamens a little bit. They look a bit droopy. Like so, and then I just want to bend that one back a bit so that it lies a bit flatter. Right, so then I'm just going to use my ruler to kind of, oh, I didn't do too badly. That's more or less exactly matching that, like so. I'm just going to pin that before I glue that one, because I just want to see what it looks like. So I'll just pin it underneath there. I just want to see what it looks like when I close this up. Yeah, this needs to go more there. Right, so that was a good exercise, because this is a side flap, so I kind of want it more or less to mirror that one. That is just right, I think. So okay, so I'm just going to put that pin where the top should be there, and let's see if we can, so I don't want it to move, so I'm going to perhaps glue it one side at a time, because things have a habit of moving, and then I realise then I've glued it and it's too late then. So pop that down so we can open this back out. So that's that side, and then we just pop that over. And just gently dot round those pieces in the same way. And give it a press down. and just quickly check before I take my pin back out. And I'll quickly check before I completely, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm pleased with that. I really like that. So yeah, that's going to close over the top, but you know, very pretty. And I think what I'll do is I may put a couple of pearls in there. That would be good, wouldn't it? So then the spine, I quite like to put something over there, and I kind of wanted a 2-layer approach. So I've got various pieces of white lace here, and kind of wondered whether to put something like that on. And so I'm just going to cut that piece down because I find it difficult dealing with a whole big roll. And so if I was to have that coming over there, something like that. Okay, so say just as an example. And then I've got this beautiful, I have a whole big piece of this beautiful Indian material, which I've bought from Manisha Fabrics. She has a shop on Facebook, and this is the right side of it, and it's hasn't got a lot of silver in it, so I don't want to incorporate too much. This is a black and white. It's called The Beauty of Black and White, and I want to stick with that if I can. So I've just cut a section out of this piece. It's not all this. This is like a border. So I wanted to kind of try and so let's just pop a pin in that quickly, just to keep it on, just while I test out my theory of what that might or might not look like if it was like this, or which way round should it go. That's better, I think. So say for instance I put that over the top, and then when you close this up, let's just loosely close it. And that would then look like that, and that covers up the spine underneath where I've sewn the tie on. So I like that. I really do like that combination. And these have got kind of as near as black pearls or buttons. I think they're like pearls. So if I put white ones on here, that would be nice. I might find some white pearls, and I'll do those off camera. So I'll do all this off camera, and when you see the next episode, we'll be looking at signatures, because I showed you the kit that I'm using from Kerr, and I've got various other papers. You know, I've got a few, I've had about 2 paper packs, scrapbook paper packs that have 1 or 2 sheets of black and white in them, so I pulled those out. I always pull out a lot more than I actually need, and yeah, so that is it so far. So that's what it's roughly going to look like before we sew in the signatures, but we'll put the signatures, at least one of them, together next time, and you'll see how I've approached the spine. And then in the inside, before I sew the signatures in, I will probably put some cotton down there, a strip of cotton, which I have just got an odd strip, which I will cut down, and I think that will go nicely in there. So if I'd have thought about it, I would have sewed that in at the same time when I was sewing down this, but I didn't think, I'm afraid. So I'll just glue that in, and that will just give a bit more firmness to the signatures. So this obviously, the spine won't go on until I've put the signatures in, because I never put mine on. That's my last finishing thing I usually do to the cover. So because I don't want my 3 pamphlet stitches, 3 rows of that to show on the top of this. I want it camouflaged underneath. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed that or found it interesting. I have never made a soft cover before. This is the first time I've ever made a sewn cover, and so it's a real learning curve for me. So I hope, you know, it gave some of you others out there who haven't attempted it some hope. And you don't need to have a sewing machine. You can hand sew, or slow stitch as they call it. You can do all of that. If you're very neat and tidy with your hand sewing, I think it will be a great thing to do, because that foam, the needle just flies through it, you know. It's not stiff or anything. It's very malleable and soft. It's lovely. Yeah, so I'm very pleased with that. So I'll say goodbye, and I will see you and speak to you soon. Bye.